Hi everyone, so in today's video presentations, there are going to be 4 members. First Tanusha, next is me Aiza, Rebecca and lastly Diana. In today's video, we are going to present our reading assessment, writing assessment and our reflection as a group.
Hello everyone, my name is Tanusha and I will be presenting the analysis of our WASA reading trial set for part 1. In the first part of the test, we have multiple choice questions designed to assess students' ability to recall and understand basic information. We created the first 3 questions as easy to ensure that students are comfortable with simple recall and comprehension. For example, in the question 2, what type of food did Lydia eat yesterday? So here the Bloom's taxonomy level is remembering, as it requires students to recall a basic fact. These questions target remembering and understanding, which are lower level of cognitive skills. So the next 4 questions are of medium difficulty and focus more on applying and analyzing. For example, question 6 asks students to interpret the tone in a note, which require them to break down and analyze the emotional state of the writer. This involves both applying their understanding of the tone and analyzing the context to interpret the message. So these types of question actually challenges students to engage with the text more deeply and assess its meaning, moving beyond just the basic recall and comprehension. Finally, we have one hard level question which require evaluating. These questions ask students to critically evaluate a situation, such as determining the most likely reason behind a set of conditions in a text. So by incorporating, analyzing and evaluating skill at the medium and hard levels, we aim to challenge students to think more critically and make informed judgment based on the text in line with the guidelines for a balanced test construction. Moving on to part 2, error correction of reading set. This section focuses on grammar and language accuracy. Here, students need to identify and correct errors in sentences. So for example, in the sentence, Joan grew up surrounded by books. So here, students must correct surround to surrounded. This exercise targets applying and analyzing cognitive level because students are required to apply their grammar knowledge to identify mistakes and analyze the sentence structure. This section is of medium difficulty level. By having students correct these errors, we aim to assess their understanding of language rules and their ability to apply them in context. The third part of the reading test focuses on information transfer. In this section, students are required to extract key details from a text and present them concisely. For example, the first question about the recommended minimum age for horse riding asks students to locate and transfer specific information from the passage. This section tests students' understanding and analyzing abilities. First, they must comprehend the text, and then they need to analyze it to extract precise details. The answer should be no more than 3 words from the text, ensuring students focus on extracting the most relevant information. This part has a mix of easy to medium difficulty, with some questions requiring basic comprehension and others requiring deeper analysis. The goal is to ensure that students can not only understand the written material but also synthesize and use it effectively to answer the questions.
Greetings everyone, my name is Aiza Natasha and I'm going to present the 4th part of the reading assessment, which is reading comprehensions. So for this part, it is divided into 2 sections. So the first 4 questions focuses on true or false questions, and the Bloom taxonomy involved is evaluating. So the purpose of this assessment is to test whether students can comprehend the text and are able to evaluate the given questions based on the text. So for examples, shoppers are encouraged to buy extra items if they are hungry, which happens to be false. So the next 4 questions focus on extracting the answers from the text. So the Bloom taxonomy involved is analyzing. So the purpose of this assessment is to evaluate students' ability to analyze the given text to find the correct answer. For example, buying a pre-loved item is blank, and the answer is going to be better for the environment. Next, I'm going to present the last part, which is gap text. So in this part, we have add questions and it focuses on filling in the gap with the given answers. So in this part, we provide the students with two texts, which is text 1, the answer is best from A to D, and text 2, E to H. So the Bloom taxonomy involved in this part is analyzing and evaluating. So the purpose of this part is to identify whether the students can analyze the given text to choose the right answers and proceed with evaluating the chosen answers. So for example, it was never a big bustling village, and then blank for question number 33, and the students need to find the answer, which is B. At its peak, the population only reached about 350 people.
Hello, my name is Rebecca and I will be explaining about the writing component of our WASA trial test. In part 1, we decided on short communicative message tasks in the form of an informal email. The purpose of this task was to basically evaluate how the students can communicate about their personal experiences in written form, while also using the appropriate informal email structure. The test item is aligned with Bloom's taxonomy level, which is CRATE, in which the students are required to generate ideas and produce an original piece based on the prompts. The reason the difficulty is set on hard is due to the fact students must choose the right language to use despite it still being in the informal stage, and complete the task in the given word limit. A lesson learned while doing this was how important it is to give clear and structured prompts to help guide the students on what is needed. We decided to do note expansion in the form of short essay about the concerns on a student's health due to junk food. The purpose of this was to evaluate the student's ability to express opinions while providing reasons and way of organizing the ideas logically. As in part 1, this also falls under Bloom's taxonomy level CRATE, because it requires the students to generate ideas and structure and also organize them appropriately based on the given notes. Difficulty levels also under hard because the students have to explain concepts, justify their reasons, and suggest actions while also following the limited word scheme. What can be learned was that note expansion helps students stay focused and reduce their cognitive overload. Providing them notes or prompts allows them to develop ideas confidently while also demonstrating higher order thinking skills and ability to write independently. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Diana Nabila and I will be presenting our reflection on the process of constructing an English reading and writing test for mixed ability from one student. First and foremost, one of the main challenges we faced during test construction was ensuring cultural and contextual relevance. Some topics or examples, especially those related to foreign cultures or unfamiliar situations, could confuse students even if the language used was simple. This made comprehension more difficult and could affect students' performance unfairly. Therefore, we had to be careful in selecting texts and prompts that were relatable to Malaysian students and aligned with their real-life experience. Another challenge was addressing mixed ability levels in the classroom. While higher proficiency students could complete tasks quickly and confidently, lower proficiency students often needed more time, especially for writing tasks that required idea generation and vocabulary use. This highlights the importance of balancing task difficulty so that the assessment could accurately reflect students' abilities without causing anxiety or demotivation. And to address these challenges, we realized that teachers need strong knowledge of students' backgrounds and proficiency levels. Understanding students' socio-cultural context helps in choosing appropriate themes, while familiarity with the curriculum and learning standards ensures that tasks remain age-appropriate and meaningful. In addition, Staying updated with students' current interests and communication styles such as informal digital communication can help increase engagement and authenticity in assessment tasks. And based on this experience, we would like to recommend a few improvements for the TE30503 course. And firstly, the course could place more emphasis on writing clear and student-friendly instructions, as unclear instructions can affect test validity. Secondly, more guidance should be provided on balancing language accuracy and communicative effectiveness, especially in writing assessments, so that students' ideas are not overshadowed by minor grammatical errors. In conclusion, this assignment helped us understand that designing valid and reliable assessment is a complex process that requires careful consideration of students' abilities, background, and learning context. It has prepared us to be more effective and fair as future educators. Thank you.